Hello and welcome to another live on Marlene's How To's. And I'm so glad that you could join me today. As you know that for the last few months for my lives, I've been featuring a specific fruit or vegetable, and we basically cook with that because it is a gardening channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Marlene, and this is Marlene's How To's, my home and garden channel. So right here, this is what we're going to be featuring today. And we're going to do two different dishes. My husband may pop up a third one. I'm not sure because we are cooking together as we usually do on these lives. So, of course, feel free to leave me your comments in the chat. I love to see them so we can have a better interaction. We learn from each other. We like suggestions. I like when you greet each other as well on the chat, and that happens time and time again. And it gives you that feeling of, community, which I always love to have as a part of the YouTube family. So I hope you can hear me really well. Let me know if you can't, but I think we're good to go. So I'll just show you some of the things here. So right now it's summer, of course, depending on where you're watching this from, because I have people from Australia and other parts of the world as well too. But it's summer for us right now in the United States, and it has been very, very hot out there. I'm not sure if where you are, you've been having that issue, but I can tell you today when we left Walmart today, it was about a little after 1. It was 106 degrees. That's what the car said. So it was really, really hot. So we're going to be talking about the bell peppers today, which you can see me have here. Of course, you have bell peppers of different colors. I didn't get to grow any this year because, we spent a lot of time on our raised bed and leveling our backyard. So we didn't get a lot of time to plant a lot of veggies as I would have liked to. But next year, God willing, we should do a lot more. So let me just show you some of these right here. So this is the bag right here that we have where you can see like lots of different colors. We're going to be doing different things with them, and we will see how it goes. So, and I'm just going to take a look at the chat because I like to keep up with it. So right now let's see, we have Lorna. Hi, Lorna. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you. And we have Bruce Lee. He says, hello, hello to everyone. And we also have two Georgia Peaches. And I'm hoping my sister will be able to join me shortly as well because we want to talk about her channel a little bit as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing stuffed bell peppers, and I'm gonna try to put a little bit of a like a Spanish or Mexican twist on it. So I'm gonna be using taco seasoning mix to flavor the meat that we're gonna be using. So we'll need to get the beef out. And of course, you can use turkey if you want to, just depends on what you prefer. Because some people are off red meat, so they don't want to have any red meat. But turkey is a good option. I've seen ground chicken used sometimes too, so that's another option as well. Of course, you have people who are straight vegan, so they'll leave the meat out completely and just go ahead and use tofu or whatever else they might want to add that kind of a meat type situation to it. All right. So we have Andrea's Kitchen. So welcome, welcome, Andrea. That's my sister. So glad to see you. Welcome. All right. So I'm going to shift the camera down a little bit so let me put it further back so you can get a better view of what we're doing here. So these are the peppers right here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get my vegetable cutter because I use two different cutters, which you kind of should try to do too. Have one cutting board for your vegetables and your foods that you're going to have fresh, or even if you're not going to have it fresh, you're going to cook it. I still prefer to do them separately. And then for meats, we have a separate board for cutting meats as well. So you can let me know if that's something that you normally do, or you just, clean it really well so you don't have to worry about that kind of a situation. So we're going to go ahead and start with these first because for the stuffed peppers, you basically have to make sure that it's cooked a little bit. So I want to get ahead of that. And I'm going to be doing them in my toaster oven. I'm not sure. I think you can see the toaster oven over here, right there. So because it's not a lot of them, I'm just going to go ahead and do it in the toaster oven. So let my husband come and say hello because he's going to be doing some cooking here as well too. Yeah, he's doing something silly. Yeah, so we're just trying to round up everything together here. So you can let me know in the comments, like if it was hot in your area or not, because it certainly was over here. But we should be getting some rain in the next couple of days, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. All right, guys. So let me make sure you can see what I'm doing here. I like using my laptop because I feel like it's bigger for me to get a better view, but of course, it does limit sometimes the way I can angle my stuff. So I kind of like try to twist it over a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead first and get started with the bell peppers. So typically, I mean, you can just find the best side for you to cut it on because we're gonna try to get it cut in half. And it might not be a perfect cut. You may have one side slightly bigger than the other, but for the most part, that's what we're gonna do. Just try to do it like that. We have two of them here. So I'm going to cut the other one. And of course, if you want, you can get large bell peppers that are red or yellow because, it looks so pretty when you style them in your plate, that pop of color. But bell peppers, either way, whether the green ones or the red ones or yellow ones, they give you a lot of vitamin C and other very important minerals, in your diet. So it really, really goes a long way in terms of giving you good nutrition. And right now they're in abundance in this, like if you go to the grocery store, you see a lot of them there. And you also see, if you're growing them, then this is the time you'll be getting a lot of tomatoes and a lot of bell peppers in your garden. Like I said, I didn't get to grow any this year, but there's always next year, God willing. So of course we have the seeds in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get something to clear them out in. I'm gonna have a plastic bag off to the side here. I'm just gonna get this knife and try to cut out the seeds and the other parts. These just come in and cut. I don't want to waste any of it, so I'm trying to cut it as clean as I can. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm just going to be using two of them. I'm going to cut the other one as well. And for some reason, I can't have bell peppers as much as I used to, when I was younger. But I guess, you get different allergies from time to time, just different things pop up with foods. I don't know why. It happens sometimes as you get older. So that's the next one there. Go ahead and cut it out. I was thinking maybe we could have probably done like peppered steak, but time didn't allow for that. So maybe in a future one, because sometimes you'll see me feature something, but then I'll come back and I'll do it again. So for a future one, we'll probably do something like that. I'm just washing it out right now to get the seeds out of the way. So now they look nice and clean, which is exactly how I want them to be. And let me get the other one out from here. Let me take a look and see. So you guys are greeting each other, so that's awesome. And Andrea says, I have been planting the seed core with great results. Yes, I did see that around your apartment and she has an apartment, so she has a balcony that's outside and she grows flowers. And all she did was she put the whole thing like this in there, like this part right here where the seeds are on there. Let me see if you can see it really good. And she just stuck it in the soil and they grew just like that. Surprise, surprise. And then, once they get to a certain height, usually like about here, you can just thin them out, just either pinch the leaves off the top, or you can just pull a couple of them out, or you can even, transplant them somewhere else. But, you have to thin them out. Otherwise, you're going to be competing for food and water and you won't have as good results as you would like to. So I'm going to wash these out right now. So do you guys have any other recipes that you make with bell peppers apart from what we're doing here? I know peppered steak is very popular in Jamaica when we were growing up. It certainly was. But we try other things over here in America as well. So this is them right here. I just love how they look nice and large. So we're going to go ahead and put them in the toaster oven so they can start to cook a little. Because if you just use them as they are with the stuffing in there, the stuffing is already cooked, then these aren't, going to be undercooked and then your stuffing will be kind of overcooked. So we're going to go ahead and put that over there first. So this is a tray I'm going to be using. And I guess I could probably put a little bit of, I'll just put a little bit of oil on there just so it doesn't stick. Sometimes people use butter, but I just prefer to use oil. I'm not using a lot either, just a tad, as we would say. Just put that in there. We'll probably need this again. So cook the meat because we're going to be putting the beets in it. And I just kind of like use my hands. My mom always used to say, they said that your fingers are the best spatula. That's what she said they taught her in when she went to cooking school, years upon years ago. We're just going to go ahead and put them face side up on there. You can turn them whichever way you would like. And then just have them go in. It can be a little slippery because, the back is kind of like, it's not flat like the front, but you have to cook it this way because you want to have that nice, slightly cooked edge look on there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick them in. And I have it at 375 degrees. And I'm probably gonna have them go for about 20 minutes. So let me take a look and see how much time is on here. Yeah. So it's 20 minutes is gonna go on there for and go ahead and get cooked. Let me take a look at the chat. So Neil says, good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Yes. All right. So these are my Roma tomatoes. Those are going to be going in there as well. So I'm just going to start cutting these up so I have everything ready. And I want to give him a lot of space when he's ready to get going. So guys, do you tell me in the chat which kind of tomatoes you prefer? Because we have Romas in Jamaica. We call these plummy tomatoes because they kind of remind us of some of the plums that we have. The shape of it is kind of like the red coat plum that we have down there. Some of them are, I guess, yellow coat as well too. But we call these plummy, but in America they call them Roma tomatoes. And other parts of the world they call them that too. But these are you can use these in salads, yes, but they tend to be best for when you're cooking dishes just because of the consistency of how they are. But of course, it's not a major thing that you have to worry too much about. But what is your favorite type of tomato? You have grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. You have the big heirloom ones that you use for slicing. There are different types of those. So I don't know which one you prefer, but I like Roma for cooking. I think they give a little bit more flavor. And then for eating, I prefer, like the big slicing ones that we use for salads. And I do tend to take out some of the seeds. Some people don't, but I don't like too many seeds in there. So I take those out, but of course you don't have to. One of my relatives actually does not like tomatoes. They like ketchup, but they don't like tomatoes. But everybody has their own preference. Let me see. Andrea says, I love the heirloom tomatoes. They tend to be sweeter. Yes, that's true. And most of those are passed down for sometimes decades or sometimes even more than 100 years. They'll have the same variety that's coming over. I'm just de-seeding it right now. And again, you don't have to do that. That's just me doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them cut into smaller pieces. Lorna, I saw your video, your living room video. I tell you, whenever you do something with gold in it, it's golden. Because it's always so pretty. So, guys, if you're on the chat or you come on the replay, and hello to my replay guys as well, because I know a lot of you, sometimes even more than half of the people, sometimes two-thirds or even three-quarters of the people that come on to watch it live, they come on afterwards. Because people are doing different things. They don't necessarily have that time when you are ready to be on there with you. And so the replay people, thank you so much for joining in each time. So yes, guys. So Lorna, it's Lorna's Decor, and she did a really nice video. Whenever she does gold, she did a really nice golden. I mean, all of her videos are nice, but whenever she does like her living room, and she does like, or yeah, living room, I guess. Because even the Christmas one. So I think that's how I found your channel, Lorna. You had a really nice blue and white Christmas decoration. And I found it and I said, wow, this is gorgeous. Because I'm more of a red girl, but it was beautiful. But yeah, so that video was what was it again? I think it was it yellow and silver? But you did one that was pink and gold and that did so well, and the other one was gold and white. That one is just like, wow, knock it out the park for real. But that's Lorna's channel. And then going on to my sister, Andrea, she recently changed her channel from Andrea's kidney transplant life, because she's a kidney transplant patient. She's a survivor. She has a wonderful story. So she started to tell a little bit about that to start her channel off, just to encourage people with that kind of a condition. But but right now because she loves to cook even more than I do actually. She's starting to cook, so she did a recent video to update her channel. I may just share it on my community tab. I think that's probably what I'll do. But anyway, she's gonna start cooking, so she just did an update. It's like a 1 minute video. It's not a short because it is long. It's not vertical. It's long. But she was telling you and showing you some dishes that she's gonna be doing in the future. I'm sure she's open to suggestion as well, as to what she can do going forward. So let me see here. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, guys. So, okay, Tiffany, welcome, Tiffany. So glad to see you. Tiffany says, just hopping on to say hi. I've been busy lately since school started. Yes. But I'm always here to support you. Yay. Hey, thank you so much, and I so appreciate you. Tiffany, tell me before you go, what is your favorite type of tomato, if you like tomatoes at all? Because we were just talking about like different types of tomatoes. So let me see. So Two Georgia Peaches says, I love grape tomatoes in my salads. Yes. And lots of people like grape tomatoes and cherry tomatoes in their salad, but I'm not necessarily one of those. So can you help me? It's my husband Mark. I'm gonna ask him to help me to cut up some of the onions so I can have it for this here. So we're gonna be putting all of these things. And again, for those just coming on, we're gonna be giving the stuffed peppers, we're gonna be giving them a little bit of a kind of a Mexican, flavor to it. I'm gonna be adding this, and it's taco season mix, the Walmart brand. You can use whatever brand you like, and you just flavor it that way. But of course, you can flavor it with Italian seasoning if you prefer, whatever you want to do to stuff your peppers. But that's the way we're going today. And I'm also gonna be putting some canned corn in there as well, and also some black beans. We got to keep that flavor going the Spanish style.
You
So
said
those
it's
are
a
the
onion.
onions. Yeah. Let me just clear this off a little bit, guys. I'll be right back before you. I just want to get all of my chopped stuff. So we're going to chop some tomatoes and some onions, and we're going to work it in with the beef. Take a
Okay.
look again. So Tiffany says, Lorna says, thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. And Tiffany said, I like tomatoes in ketchup, LOL. Oh, so that's how you like it. Okay. And I was just saying, I know some, a family member that's like that. Won't just say anything further about it, but they prefer ketchup. They don't like to eat fresh tomatoes like that. But each to his own. Everybody got their own thing that they prefer. And Andrea says, yes, guys, please join me on the delicious journey. So that's for Andrea's channel, Andrea's kitchen. All right, so are you ready to do the onions right now? Hmm? I don't What is this back right here?
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna come over and get the onions going. Just come and cut the onions for me, please. And I'll take a look at the comments as they go along. But yes, so Andrew's Kitchen is my sister's. She updated her channel to Andrew's Kitchen, it's from Andrew's Kidney Transplant Life. So please go ahead and show her some support.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna cut up the onions for Marlene. You need a full onion or half? Half. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just cut these, and like we always say, start cutting it from the top, because if you cut it from the bottom, right, it has more acid in there, and it basically will burn your eyes. So just cut it in half and cut it across like this. It keeps it real simple, and then you dice it across like this. And that keeps it from burning your eyes. Okay. Like that. Because she's doing it Mexican style, you can do it with white onions, or if you wish, you can do it with red onions. But for now, she's using the white onions. Let me just go ahead and dice these up for you. Now, timer lows. I'll do pepper steak. And initially, she had planned to just do something else. So I'll do pepper steak if timer lows. Make it real quick and simple for you guys. And I'll do a reboot of something that we did in the class, a little bit of different spin to it. Okay. That's Joel.
All right, I can hear my bell peppers over here popping, guys. So that's good. They got 10 more minutes to go. So they are popping. Let me take a look to see what else is going on in the chat. Okay, so that's from Andrea coming along there.
Okay, so is this enough for your view?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
What is this saying for the other thing I'm working on? Right, one second.
So I think we're gonna have to use the beef instead. Let me just push that out the way. I wanted to use ground beef, but Looks like there's an issue with that, so I'm just gonna cut it up. Can you put the camera down just a little bit so they could see over here? And this is already kind of like
It's cute.
yeah, it's kind of how do we describe this now?
It's
It's
cute.
been tenderized. Let's put it that way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it into some smaller pieces, and it'll still be okay. And that's the one thing when like when you're making peppered steak and stuff like that, it you have to make sure that your meat is cooked tender because the last thing you want is to have, to be there eating the food and the beef is tough because that has happened to me before. It had a very nice flavor. When I say happened to me, I didn't cook it because I'm going to be testing it to see if it's soft enough. But it was like a restaurant and it was really good. The flavor was excellent, but somehow they didn't have it staying long enough, and so it was tough. So whenever you have like red meat, you really want to try to get the kind that is that's already tenderized, or we use like a pressure cooker in Jamaica a lot. I know a lot of the Caribbean people that they use pressure cookers a lot. So it helps to save time. And it's gonna have you cooking it less. Then that's gonna be less. You're gonna be using, less. You're gonna be saving your money actually because you don't have to be spending so much on electricity and all of that. All right, so we have it right there. We have our meats and all of that. So am I using this pot here? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking it. I'm just waiting for the pot to warm up a little bit. And do you guys normally have like for the peppers, do you normally have like different colored peppers? Do you like red peppers more, or you don't care? You just use whatever you can find in the store. I know the red ones definitely cost more because yesterday when I bought them at Walmart, the green ones were for 82 cents each, and the red ones were for $1.48. So that's I mean not quite twice the price, but it's not. I mean it's maybe like about 80% the price, 80% more than if you use the green one. So but that's, a fairly reasonable distance there, or difference, I should say, in the price. When you see the beauty of it, it looks so much better when you can see it looking that way. So our oil is heating up over here. You can see the fire going there. We have a clove of garlic in there. You can use, some people like to use like garlic powder. You can add a bit of garlic powder too, which I'll probably just get some of that as well too. And just put it onto it. Because garlic is good for you. They say it helps to lower your blood pressure if you're having like, blood pressure issues. It's not going to be like a large number, but nevertheless, it does help. So whatever we can do to help ourselves stay healthier, it's good. And it also has, antioxidants in it that help to fight diseases. And of course, in these times, with so much going on, you want to make sure that you can get as much help as you can. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the meat in there. I think we have our garlic cooking a little bit more. And I'm just gonna add a little pinch of salt because I'm gonna be adding in the seasoning mix. And this, it has a lot of salt in there. Because it says per container, it's 280 milligrams. And I always like to look at my nutrition facts. I don't know if you guys do that as well. I like to see how much sodium is in my food, as well as sometimes sugars, because sometimes you have hidden sugars. So I like to check on the back to see. So I kind of like gauge myself. And even the salt that we use, we try to use the salt. We use like sea salt, or some people they like to use like the low sodium salt because it's a little bit healthier for you. For some people, you may add sometimes I'll just add the salt a little bit to the oil first, so it's already in there. And then I go ahead and I add my meat in there. So I think we're warm enough over here. And if you're new to cooking, fairly new, the main thing is to make sure that you just monitor your flame, you know. Go ahead and get my fork. Okay. Like I said, this is tenderized already, so that helps a lot. And the last live we did hamburgers and that was they were so good and so juicy. So if you miss those, you can always, like tap on my channel icon when you're finished here. And you can go to the tab that says live, under you have videos, shorts, live, you can tap on live and you can get to always catch up on what we have done in the past. So that way, you can always catch up on whatever went before. You can see how it's broken up in the pot there. I'm gonna go ahead and add these. And I usually like to add in my tomatoes first. That's the way my mom did it. Andrew, you know that she always added her tomatoes first, so that's what I do. But again, each to his own. You do what works for you. I'm gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes in. Because I feel like they take a little bit longer to cook than the onion. And I try to keep the fire on a lower flame so that way it's more controllable. When it's higher, it tends to can get out of control sometimes. So I always try to, not make it be too high a flame so I can manage, especially if it's a big burner. Because the burner on this side is a little bit bigger. If it starts to get too low, then I'll turn it up a little bit more so we can get to cooking with it. Let's turn it up a little bit. And it's smelling so good in here already, guys. So do you guys like when you're cooking like ground meat, do you guys add your oil to the salt to the oil first, or do you put it in your meat? Because sometimes they say it makes it a little bit more tender if you just put it in the oil and then add your meat. I don't know if that works for you or you just put it in your meat. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my onions. I've seen where some people when they're cooking like Mexican fat food, they'll put the chopped cilantro and put in there as well. I'm not gonna be doing that today. Maybe the next go around. So this is a season mix, and you can flavor it depending on how you prefer. Well, let me catch up with the chat here. So Andrew says, yes, indeed. So, okay, I'm not sure what that one was for. I'm sorry. I'm busy trying to get the meat going here. So, hi, Mondale. Mondale from Johnson Home Decor and Lifestyle. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We are doing peppers today. That's the star of the show today. So the peppers, they're actually there. And I'm just doing it eyeballing it. But you can maybe add like I'd say about 2 tablespoons. I don't use the whole pack when I'm doing it. But you can if you want it, just depending on how strong you want it to be. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit, not too much. And again, you can put it on the meat before it's cooked if you like. I just like to put mine while I'm stirring it. It's a little bit in here. So Mondel, it's really good to see you. And you guys are talking to each other in the chat. So I always love that, when you have that kind of community and that exchange. So let me just show you what we're doing, looking like so far. So if you can see the color and everything, that's how it's coming along there. Looking so good, guys. With the onions and the tomatoes. Yeah, like I said, we had an incident with the ground beef, so I just have to use the tenderized beef to do this. All right, so the timer is going off of my bell peppers. But like I was saying, you kind of want to, and because this is not the ground beef, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it, just a tad. Let me stop it. It's over here so you can stop making that sound. Just a tad of water, maybe like a tablespoon, just because it is not the ground meat. If it was ground meat, you would skip that step. I just wanted to kind of like cooked on a little bit. Because I want my meat to be nice and soft. And leave it there. And I'm gonna go ahead. Can you watch this from peas? And I always spray my after I wash my meat board, I always spray it. I have like a bottle. Like I showed you guys in the last video that I did, the last live that is. You know, I'm doing gardening on my regular videos, but I always try to have like a bottle of bleach solution, and this is 10%. So let's say you put um, I'm trying to figure out the proportions. But anyway, I mean, it's eyeballing it anyway. So let's say, you put the water up to about, you put the bleach to about here, you take the water all the way up to here. So it's a 1 to 10 ratio because you don't want it to be too strong. And I just spray my boards with them when I finish cutting my meat so that way I know they're clean. And even though I do that, I still use a separate board for cutting my fruits and veggies because you know, meat is not what it used to be when I was growing up. Food poisoning is so prevalent these days. It happens so frequently. So, and you have, cross contamination. So I try to, keep my stuff as clean as I can that way. All right. We're cooking her down a little bit there, making sure that she is nice and tender. It smells really good in here. And at this point, you can always taste your food. I kind of can know when my food, based on how it smells, if it has enough salt. I know it's pretty good to go and it has enough of the flavor. So you can always taste it as you're going along to see how it's doing. So basically, we're at this point right here. So let me go ahead and take out the bell peppers. It's going to be cooked a little bit. And this is how it's looking right here. And of course, it's hot from the oven, so I have to let it cool down just a little bit. I just show them to you here. You can see that they're cooked a little bit, not all the way through, but enough so that if you're putting something that's cooked in it, it won't be undercooked when you have the stuffing inside of it. And some people they like to stuff mushrooms and different stuff like that. See? Let's put this right here. So he's working on his little cooking over there. All right, so the next we're gonna put in, we have like I was saying, we're doing it kind of like that Mexican style a little bit. Just our own spin on it, of course. So we have corn and we have black beans that I'm gonna add in there as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Let me wash these off first. I like to wash out my cans as well. You're gonna show them what you're putting in there, right? Okay. It's just this here. And you can use whatever brand you like. This is the Walmart brand, which I'm pretty okay using it. And over here we have I like using organic corn. I don't get organic for everything that I use, but corn is one of them that we try to get organic stuff. So Lorna says, let me see. Lorna says, good to join the live. Just came back from vacation and you're sick. Oh no, Mandel. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh no. And have a lot of sickness going around right now too. So everybody has to be so careful. Well, I hope you get some rest. I'm really sorry to hear that. And thanks so much for joining us. We're a community here, so we're definitely here to try to encourage you. So Lorna says, sorry to hear that. Feel better soon. Yes, absolutely. Where is my can opener? Right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this. I still have old fashioned. I remember I saw something the other day on Facebook and they showed, I don't know if you guys remember, if you're old enough, you remember the one that is just like a little wand kind of shaped, kind of about this size. And it has a little thing and you just push it in there and you get your stuff to come out. I'm going to drain it right now. I'm not going to be using all of it though. I don't need as much. I drained it out. I'm going to just put it over in here. And just be careful with these canned items. Oops. So I'm going to be using this is maybe like about a third of a can. I don't want too much in there. I'm going to put that there. Give me another one to put I'm going to drain the water off in the sink as well. This one's a little bit thicker. All right. 6. So if you guys don't like black beans, you can always, like I said, you can always use different types of beans. You can, if you want to, or if you just want to not do it like a kind of a Mexican style, you can always, let's turn this off. You can always, use maybe like Italian seasoning with your rice and the other stuff that goes in there. So we're just gonna go ahead and add them in. Let's see. It's dry down very nice as I know my meat is ready. And again, you would add a tip of water that I did, or I should say a spot, as they say in England, of water if we're using a ground beef. But this is a tenderized one, so it didn't take too long. So I added the corn, put a little bit more. We want a nice pop of color. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our beans in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stir it around. So make sure that everything has dried out if you added the water, like if you're using the beef like I did, because you don't want it to be runny. You want to have a little bit of that in there, yes, but not too much. And normally we just put the whole clove of garlic in there. That's just the part that's coming around it there. So far so good. We have a lot of color going on. It looks really good. And at this point, if you like, you can add a little bit more of the taco seasoning mix. And again, it just depends on what you prefer. Add a tad more. And then after I've added this, I'm gonna add the rice. And for the most part, rice is what I typically see people use when they're stuffing their peppers. I'm not sure if anything else might work, but that's what I use. And then over here, now we have the rice. And whatever you're doing, whether it's because he's going to be doing stir fry, I'm not sure he's going to put the rice in it or not, or have it as a side. But whenever you're cooking rice, you want to make sure that you're using rice that's been cooked before. In other words, you don't want to just cook the rice and it's warm or it's hot because then it's clumping together. It's not very, what's the word I'm trying to
It's
find?
not loose.
Yeah, it's not loose.
It's
Yeah,
loose. It's loose.
yeah,
It's loose. It's not
yeah. So you want it
sticky.
to be cool. If it can be refrigerated, even the more better for you. Like if you more better, even the better for you. If you can get it to cool out in the refrigerator first. I cooked this morning, so it's not cold, but it's good to go. Right. So let's go ahead and add in our rice. I'm not adding too much because we don't want to be overwhelmed by rice.
Excuse me 1 second.
Thank you. Excuse us. Let's see, I'm stirring it around. Maybe you can see. Let me show you how it's looking so far. That's how it's looking so far, guys. You can see the corn and the black beans, a little bit of the tomatoes sticking up their little head right there. Some people they add cilantro, like I was saying before. You can add like green chilies in here if you want to. It just depends on what you're going for. Almost finished with our mix. So this is what it's looking right here now, guys. Everything is all mixing together. It kind of reminds me of jambalaya.
The tomatoes are in there already.
Everything is in there. We sprayed with this already, so we did spray with this, right?
Yeah.
You spray it? Okay. So it was looking over that side. So now I can rest it on here to work it. So let me just grab this right here. There's the other pot holder. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Let's bring this over. So again, if you're just joining us, this is what the peppers are looking like so far. I went ahead and I cooked them for 20 minutes at 375 in my toaster oven. So guys, you don't always have to light up your whole oven just to cook, something that's small. You're wasting gas. You could just put it in your toaster oven if it fits in there and just do it right in there. So you can see they're cooked a little bit, they're tender enough. So that way when I put in the cooked rice in there, it won't take too long to be done. I'm just gonna rest it on the board right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and stuff We're gonna go ahead and stuff it to get a smaller spoon so I can read them a little bit easier. We're gonna have to clean up this right here once we put them in there.
So how long are you gonna bake it for afterwards?
I'm gonna, well, maybe about 15 minutes.
I'm just trying to see what timeline I'm working with. So
Yeah.
I'll 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 do one.
I'm stuffing the next one. So we're gonna do 4 of them. I know I kind of wish, guys, that I had gotten the red peppers because it would have seen the contrast between one looking green and one looking red. So I should have just bought it. Anyway, you live and you learn, right?
Unless you want to make a tiny one using those.
No, those are too little. So I thought, but yeah. And you guys, you just flavor it the way that you want. You can add more or less depending on what you're doing there. I remember years ago, I did not like black beans and was like, how could somebody like that? Somebody said to me, you don't like black beans. And I said, no, I do not. And then over time, as I started to have more Mexican style food, I really got to love them. I was like, wow. But even though I like black beans in my Mexican food, I tend to like pinto beans more, to be honest. So like if I go for a burrito, I sometimes I'll take black beans, but quite often I will take that's how they're looking there. A little bit messy, so I have to clean up this. We keep an eye on the chat. Oh, Farmer B. Hi, Farmer B. How you doing? She says, hey, Marlene and family sounds tasty. Yes, I certainly hope so. Yes, I hope you guys will try this. It's a nice little summer meal, anytime, but more so for summer, like late spring and that kind of warmer time of the year. So the last we're going to do now is add cheese, and you can add like pepper jack cheese if you want. This is sharp. Whenever I'm cooking, I like to cook with sharp cheese because I think it makes it pop a little bit more. My oven is warm, but I'm gonna go ahead and I need to cut it back on right now. So I'm gonna try for 350. And it varies because when you're using the toaster oven, sometimes what's 350, that would be 350 in the regular oven. For some reason, it's not as you just basically use your hand to do this. I'm gonna put the cheese on top. But like I said, pepper jack cheese probably is a good choice because of how spicy we're having these things right here. And if you're someone that is lactose intolerant, you have different options. I'm guessing you probably could maybe put like tofu on top or something like that. All right, so let me clean up the board once again. I mean the tray because I don't want the cheese to start burning and stuff.
Do you want to put them on this?
No, they're fine on here.
The reason why I'm gonna just borrow a little space over there.
Over where?
Okay.
Right
What
here?
are you doing?
Okay. So, two in the kitchen. Two in the kitchen. All right. So that's what it's looking like now, guys. That's how they are right here. We're just gonna go ahead and stick them in the toaster oven.
It's 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, I'll check it in about, well, maybe 20. This normally goes to 30, so we'll put it for 20 minutes. And then start cooking. So it's 20 minutes at 350, and the oven was already warm, so it doesn't have to get up to that temperature. So I think that's a good gauge. Okay, so Neil says, hi, Miss Mundell. Hope you feel better soon. Take some zinc and vitamin C to speed up the healing. Yes, those are pretty good. Hey, Aneta, how are you? She says, hi, checking in for a little bit at a 60th birthday party and waiting for it to begin. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. And of course, the replay is always, if you ever want to catch a replay, please feel free to go on ahead. Just to give you a quick recap, we're doing stuffed peppers as the first recipe, and we're using the taco seasoning mix to give it that nice Mexican flavor, but you can use Italian type stuff if you want. You top with the sharp cheddar cheese. And what else did we do? We use corn. We put corn in there and black beans. If you like those, you can always try doing that. So now it's cooking. And the good news is that we have leftovers. So you can just have this like with some chicken or whatever you like, you know. It has beef in there already, so you don't have to have it in anything else. You can have it just as a one pot meal if you want. But if you like a lot of meat, you can have that with more meat. Well, it just depends on what for it. Did you want to come over to this side or you good with the pot on that side?
Um,
They can be close to
yeah,
the
yeah,
camera. Switch them over.
switch it over.
I will switch them over. So he's gonna be doing the stir fry for you with his little own spin on it. So turn this off. Okay.
So since she's baking, and it's gonna take about probably 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna do two quick things. Well, probably three, but I'll let you guys know. All right.
Let me clear my stuff out of the way. They can have all the space that he needs. So you said it was Marie, you said it was a
60th
60th
birthday.
birthday party. That is so nice. My, that is wonderful. Every year is a blessing. Like in years gone by, people would complain and say, "Oh, I'm so old, I'm getting old now." With all the things going on, with all these pandemic issues and everything, people are just glad they're still here. So we celebrate birthdays. You're like, you're getting older. That's a good thing. You're still here. There's some things happening out there these days. I'm telling you. Trumpy said that recipe is great for leftovers. Absolutely, I agree 100%.
Okay, so bell peppers are good because they add a little bit of sweetness and also um a little bit of kick depending on how you cook it, right? So for stir fry, I'm just going to use the straight chicken breast itself because that's kind of quick to work with, and also white meat tends to work better when you're doing stir fry. Some people prefer dark meat, but for this case, I'm going to use that. Then we'll go ahead and we use the small bell peppers, right? The small peppers rather, right? And I'll just use different colors just to add a bit of interest to the meal, right? So I'll use those, and then I'll go ahead and add celery, broccoli, and then also I will add some water chestnuts. Okay. And water chestnuts are they're kind of like potatoes of a sort, where they're not as soft, they're a little more crunchy, and you just cook them straight away. Now for in this case, I'll go ahead and add the sauce here, the Kung Po sauce. It's a little bit spicy, but if you wish, you can add other sauces and so on. All right, so you can add oyster sauce, you can add chicken broth, and just add a little cornstarch to it. But in this case, just to make it simpler, I'm just going to use the Kung Po sauce. All right, so first of all, I'll just wash the chicken with vinegar, and then I'll slice it up.
And just to give you a close up of the Kung Po, so like this, if you because you know he is of Asian descent. His grandfather came to Jamaica from China, so you know they use a lot of this type of stuff. So if this is not like in the international island your store where you shop, you can always buy these things online if you wanted to have that flavor. But I think like oyster sauce is a little bit more common. You can find it more easily. So definitely, you know, if you can get like this, you can try something like oyster sauce instead. But his stir fries are really, really good. You're not going to be needing any cheese for that, are you?
No.
So let me go ahead and get that out the way. So let me see now. And then it says, yes, it sure is a blessing. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are still here. We are for this, we are thankful.
All right, so can you
So let me show
wash
you
these afterwards?
show you everything that he has here. So he has the celery, broccoli, all these are good stuff for you here. The bell peppers, you know, he has the smaller ones, the red and the yellow. So lots of healthy stuff going on here. And of course, chicken breast over there. And you explained to you about the water chestnut. Did you have the can or did you toss it just so they could see what the can looks like? Oh, the can got tossed because I was trying to show you guys you know what it looked like. Just washing these veggies for him here.
All right. So for now, I'm just going to use one chicken breast, and then basically what I do is cut along the line of it. And when you cut your meats, you try to basically cut it everything to the approximately the same size, so that the cooking time is the same. And what you saw me doing earlier was just preheating the oil, adding garlic to it, just to help. Um, get rid of the rawness because meat sometimes is raw, and garlic
Hmm.
basically helps to take away that, and it's also good for your stomach also.
Yeah, good for you in general. And how do you want the bell peppers to be cut? You
Um,
want them?
Cut in fine. Since it's like that, two halves, and then I'll slice it up afterward.
Okay, because I'm trying to get us to move along because I took up a lot of the time with the stuffed bell peppers. Oh, look at this one right here. This one almost doesn't have any seeds in there. This looks like just a tiny amount. Isn't that something? So what I'd say, guys, too, you can save your seeds. You're gonna be because you can, my sister, she lives in an apartment. She has a nice balcony there. And she like she explained earlier in the video, if you caught it earlier, you can always catch a replay as I always, suggest. But she just stuffed the seeds from the middle down in the earth and it grew in her pot, and then you can thin them out as time goes by. So I'm just cutting them out for him here. Okay, let's keep up with the chat. So yes, Mr. Mark, chefing it up. Yes, there is Cheryl. Oh, hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Miss you guys. Yes, we absolutely miss you. You've been off of a couple of lives, but welcome back. You all got me cracking up on this thing. Welcome, welcome, Cheryl. So, what are you cooking today, madam? She's coming all the way from Jamaica, where we are from.
We do fish.
Did you cook Saturday soup? Because I'm gonna do Saturday soup for you guys one of the times. Depending on maybe if we're featuring something like carrots, then I might, or maybe pumpkins actually. We might do some Saturday soup because that's a big deal in Jamaica. Most times you'll have like chicken, like chicken soup on a Saturday, chicken noodle soup as we call it. But it's very different than the chicken noodle soup in America. Very different. Um, or we might do like red pea soup. Everybody loves red pea soup unless they have something against, what you call it
Beans.
now?
Beans.
Beans, yeah. Otherwise, everybody loves red pea soup. Or we might have, what is the other one again? So we have red pea soup, we have
Both heads.
beef soup. There are different types. Manish water, that's a whole. Well, there's something that we won't talk about on here because some people they're just like, "What? You guys eat that?" Yes, we do. So I'm cutting these up. How small do you want them to be? Like individual florets? Okay.
Individual.
So Cheryl says, yes, garlic is a must for me too. Yes, and it's so healthy. I want to see the stuffed bell pepper. So excited about that one. And they're actually in the oven right now. So Shirley gonna have to catch a replay to see the step by step of how we did it. But yeah, that's a good thing about all of this. It's recorded, so you can always go back and check it out when you're finished. Just scroll to the beginning, and there you have it. So I'm just cutting them like this right here. And broccoli is so good. This is one of the top things that they say is good to help to fight cancer. And it's better to just try to be healthy. Nobody knows what's going on inside their body, but you just try the best you can. That's all we can do. Try and pray. But it's good to have them before you get sick. So it kind of, it helps your body to stay strong and healthy. And you're not even seeing what I'm cutting, but let me show them up and show you. So that's the
Broccoli.
broccoli right there, and we have our peppers. You need them any smaller?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut them smaller.
Just tell me how to do it, and I'll do it for you. Because
All right. So
time is
I'm
going.
gonna cut them across
You want to cut
like
across
diagonal.
like so?
Right.
Okay. All right.
No, 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 no. Flash.
Let me see if I can get you to see them a little bit. What I'm doing here.
Slab.
So like so.
Yes.
Okay. You can see our peppers there. And it doesn't matter if a little bit of the broccoli goes on there, because guess what? They're all going in the same place in our tummy.
Celery.
Uh, are you cooking them ahead, the peppers, or do you want them on the broccoli? Just put everything together. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna put them in the bowl over here. I know you can see it. Look at the chat some more. So Cheryl says we did chicken soup 2 Sundays ago. On a Sunday? All right. Okay,
Yes.
Cheryl. I've done that before. I've done that before. And I know it'll be strange for some people having chicken soup on a Sunday because normally we have it on a Saturday, but whatever works for you is what I say. And it cook good, it's delicious. You can't beat that. All right. So we have our broccoli, we have our two different peppers over there. Did you want celery in there next?
Yes, please.
Okay. We take the bottom off right there. I want that part in it. Sometimes you buy organic celery because they talk about how you want them cut, like so, slant as well. Mhm. So they talk about like the dirty dozen in terms of 12 fruits and vegetables that you should try to have them organic. Like potatoes is one, celery is another one, apples is another one. Celery, apples, potatoes. I can't. Strawberries is another one. They say you should try and have the organic one. But anything else, you're good to go. So if you have the time or you're interested in that kind of a thing, you can always just look it up, the dirty dozen fruits and vegetables, and you will see it on there. They'll tell you. Okay. So we're getting these cut up here. And are we gonna put the leaves in there?
No.
We can use these for garnish. I always like to have a nice little garnish, with it. And the celery leaves are good for that.
Waste anything.
Yeah, my grandma was just like, don't waste anything with my mom too, but my grandma would not even throw away the older lettuce. She's just like, nope, we're using those. I said, okay. I'd pick them off and throw them away. I said, nope. All right, so let's go ahead and get this cut some more here. All right, so let me put these off to the side. When you have your water chestnuts, we show them to you. I think he showed them to you already, but nevertheless, this is what they look like. And this is usually in most Asian meals. It is a little can. I'm sorry, we don't have one to show you because he tossed the can already. But they add a little crunchiness. So if you buy Chinese food and you get a crunchy bite inside of your food, this is where it came from. You're not going to use all of this, right?
No.
Okay, so let me just get some out
Okay, I'll just grab one of these.
and put them over here. You want those cut? You're going to use them in that shape. Just like that? Okay. And I love to crunch on them. Remember the first time I had them was like, what is that? But it tasted so good. It adds that texture to your meal. I thought that was really good. I think we're finished with the bell peppers now. Not yet? Okay. All right. So
like I said, okay. So what it is, I use 1.5 chicken breasts, right, which is about let's see. And anytime I see blood in there, I just cut that off to the side. Just don't put that in my food. And like I said, we cut everything in about a 2 inch, 1.5 inch to 2 inch squares if you want. So that way everything has approximately the same size. So the cooking time will be even. Okay.
And guys, our bell peppers are coming along. They are looking so good. So I have, let me see, about 6 more minutes left, and I think 6 more minutes should be a reasonable amount of time for them to come up for us. Okay. Are you cutting up these over here? Because I can cut those for you too. Purpose of time, as the time is going.
That is, well, the carrot, yes. Do half of the carrot for me, please. Size.
So let's get the board back here. So about like so, is that enough? Let me make sure you can see what we're doing here. Like so.
Do about an inch
Here?
and a half.
Here?
More. Right there. There you go. Let's do 2 of them.
Run away. Another one?
That's fine. Like, that's it.
And how we cutting this now?
All right, so those I'm gonna cut them like sticks.
How thick are they gonna be?
Let me see. Based on the size of the bell pepper, just do them in slithers.
What does that mean? You think I would know?
All right. For the interest of time and
But Ryan, you think I would know? I'm not sure what he means by slithers because this is his thing. I did my bell peppers. He's doing his thing. I'm just helping him to move along. So
so all right, for simplicity, we're just gonna do like a half circle. So let's cut them across that way.
Okay.
That keeps it
All
simple.
right.
But
So that
normally
works.
I cut them in so they look like toothpicks.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of time tonight, right, guys? We'll do it another time. So let me bring it down to the view here. So I'll just go ahead and cut it here. I think we can get maybe three out of this. So that's the size right there. What we're doing. And all of this is just so colorful, which is great for like summertime, you want those nice bright colors. How you guys that just came on, how you managing with all the weather that's going out there? Because it's just been so hot. Like I was saying before, when you went to the parking lot today from Walmart, it was a little after 1, and it was like 106 degrees, people.
Actually,
That is no
109.
joke.
Actually,
Let me
109.
see this chat here. So Cheryl says we sometimes step away from a traditional rice and peas thing on a Sunday. Yes. And more like whatever we feel like. Absolutely. As long as it tastes good is what I said is good for you. RBC Maverick says, honestly, I really enjoy sun-dried bell peppers cut that way. Okay, awesome. And Cheryl says, vegetables look real good, nice colors. Farmer B says, he's getting ready to throw down. Yes, he is, ain't he? All right. So this is what they're looking like right here. Are those the right size for you? Those skinnier?
Yeah, ideally, because carrots take a little bit
Yeah,
long
they're
to
kind of
cook.
tall, so
So
they
you
take
want
a
to put,
little while to
yeah. So
cook.
what I'll do is, depending on the size, I'll put them in a little. I might put them in first. So let me take a quick look at it.
Because I don't. I mean, there's some things you like the water chestnut. When you eat them, you want them to go crunch, but I don't like to be eating stuff that shouldn't go crunch, or like onions do. But some other things, if I'm eating them, I don't want to hear crunch if it's supposed to be cooked. That's just how I like my stuff done.
Hot. Oh, careful there.
Oops, runaway carrot.
Okay. So next, I'll add about a tablespoon of soy sauce, and this is just to give it a little color, right? No, nothing else, right? Because I'm not using a lot of salt because sauce has enough salt in there already, and you have to cook healthy because you want to keep your blood pressure down. Okay, so
Yeah, we try to do that all the time because we're not like spring chickens anymore, and as you get older, you tend to have more issues that come up. So you just gotta try to head them off as best as you can. So this is what the carrots look like now. I kind of trim them down a little bit. So this is what they're looking like right here now. Should be
go ahead and add just about a tablespoon of garlic powder, and again 1.5 chicken breasts, um, a drizzle of soy sauce, and then a tablespoon of garlic powder, right? Depending on how much. Well, actually, yeah, a teaspoon of garlic powder because I already have garlic clove inside there already. And then I'll just grater about half inch, to smidge it. This is about a half teaspoon of ginger into the meat.
So he's grating some ginger in there, and ginger is so good for you. It helps. You like if you have nausea, it kind of helps with that. It just helps to settle your stomach. I personally like to drink ginger tea, as often as I can because so many good health benefits. Let me take a look at the chat again. So, RB Maverick says, with the current heat wave, I have taken to the art of looking good in black and using copious amounts of sunblock and fans. Yes, I also have decided to always have emergency water on standby. And that is so important, when it's hot like this, you really want to stay hydrated because when your body is not properly hydrated, it leads to many diseases, all kind of illnesses. Please adding it in the pot there. Let me give you a bigger fork.
Let's find that one.
You are? All right.
We'll leave that one for me.
Okay.
All right. So because I could cut it like in half inch, I mean, sorry, in 1.5 to 2 inch size cut. Right, you want to put it on high flame. That way, it cooks real fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like a wok or like you're using a good foot here, makes it work a whole lot faster. I'm just stirring it as I go because I want everything to just cook on either side, and I'll let it sit for a few minutes.
And guys, don't laugh at our Dutch pot. We've had it for so many years. Actually, he had a Dutch pot from from before I met him. And it's coming up to 25 years, right? Since we've been married. So all I can say is that he's had it. That Dutch pot is old. He brought it up from Jamaica when we were moving up to here. And it has served us so well. And this is a real old time one. You can find those again. You can get like is it cast iron? You can get like some of those, but they're kind of very heavy. Sometimes like antique stores will have those or whatever. But that's the real deal, coming up from Jamaica. I just wish we had another one or maybe one that's a little bit bigger.
Right. Bell peppers are ready now.
No, I'm gonna put a little bit more time on it.
All right, so initially she put it in there for 20 minutes, so she's gonna give it maybe another 5 or 6 minutes. You basically cook it based on how it looks. You don't want it to be too soft. So the meats and everything were cooked already. So everything is there. It doesn't matter getting the right texture on the bell pepper. That's what she's doing. All right,
At this point, everything is good. I'm just trying to have the cheese. When you have cheese, you want to have a little bit because it's cooked, but it's not. I want a little bit of brown on there. A little bit of color on the cheese. So that's all I'm waiting for. So I give it another few more minutes. So we should be coming along with that soon.
all right, so I'm gonna let this cook for another 5 minutes. So while I'm gonna put it on a medium flame. So while that's going, I'm gonna show you what I'm basically gonna work on the pepper steak next. Right. So I'll cut the beef up.
Pepper steak. I don't know if we have enough time for that.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave the pepper steak for another time.
Time,
Right.
yeah.
I'll just show you
Just
one
do
quick
this.
thing.
Yeah. It smells so good in here, guys. I'm telling you, garlic just does something. Garlic just does something to your food. I'm just washing the board right now. Make sure it's nice and clean. I'll be right there with you in a second. You need the board again? Or you're cutting the cooked chicken, so you could just use that one right there. So this is some chicken breast that was bought chicken tenders, I mean, right here. Was this one from Publix?
Yeah.
Of course you could do your own too, but just to help along with the recipe. Let me look at the chat here. I see Cheryl cracking up over here. What is she doing now? So he says, I read his already. Cheryl says, super hot, believe me, and the lights went for the whole day today. GPS, that's our utility company in Jamaica, Jamaica Public Service. They're doing some work. As you know, we're frying. Oh no.
So to help with the heat, one of the things I learned, right, when I'm working out in the field is get a rag, all right, like not a tiny rags, the large rags, right? And they're a little bit smaller than a foot towel, but it's like a double
maybe like
rag.
about, maybe like about 14 inches or so. You can just wet it and put it around your neck.
Put it around your neck, and that reduces your temperature
It does,
by
yes.
about probably, I would say,
10
5 to 6 degrees Celsius, or like about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on what measure you're using.
Yeah. So at least nightfall coming soon, Cheryl. So you'll cool down enough. She said, "How did it pass immigration?" Well, she said, "Super hot. Yeah, they're frying. Okay." And then she says, "Those long time Dutch pots." Oh, you're asking how the Dutch pot passed immigration? They cool with it.
Oh,
they scanned it. Yeah. They scanned it, but we, and things were not as strict back then as it is now. With so many things, but they got us through. So we're very happy about that. I think that'd still be okay with it, but I just wouldn't take it as carry on. You would just basically take it as your checked luggage.
Yeah. So,
Rita Richardson, new subscriber from California. Looking forward to the video. Welcome, Rita. we're a good ways into the video, so I hope you'll go back and catch the replay so you can see everything that we did. But we're so glad to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And feel free, our chat is right there. We, greet each other as well too. She's a new subscriber, guys. So we appreciate that. We give her an applause. So guys, say hello to Miss Rita in the chat. Let her know that we appreciate her as a part of the Marlenes How To's family. This is my husband, Mark.
Right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm basically just cutting the zucchini or squash. What do you call this, baby?
Mhm. Yeah, that's zucchini.
Zucchini. All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm cutting this up, and I have the chicken tender that I basically cut up already, real quick, right? And like I said, I was just surprising her. She didn't know I was gonna do this.
So he's putting other stuff in there.
Yeah. So this is not for the stir fry, right? You can put this in the stir fry if you wish. That's okay. Right. But what I was just gonna do real quick for her, in the interest of time, because
Mhm.
for what she was doing, is that I'll just use the bell pepper to make a quick sweet and sour kebab. Because bell pepper marries very nicely with pineapple, right? And if you don't like meat or anything like that, then you basically can use zucchinis, carrots, celery,
You said pineapple?
pineapple, and also onion, right? Along with the meat. But bell pepper always marries very well with, it gives a good
Yes.
flavor with
With
the
pineapple.
pineapple. All right. So
I
that's what I'm doing.
agree
That's what I'm doing for
100%.
her. Right. So like I did on the other videos, we start with the carrot first. Oops. Hey, that didn't work. So let's try again.
So he's just skewering it along. Let me keep checking here. Family says, welcome, Rita. Lorna says, welcome, Rita.
All right. And if you want, you can cut one of these. Let me just do them in
Lengthwise?
yeah, lengthwise.
Okay.
Just do across, and then down. All right. So the chicken is done.
The bell pepper is about to be done. Is that how you wanted them like this? Let me see.
All right. So when it's like that, then we cut across it because we basically are trying to get everything in about the size of
Like
this.
bite-sized
Yeah,
pieces,
like
basically.
2 inch, 1 inch,
Yeah.
1.5 inch, 2 inch.
I could just use that part right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna need one more celery. Garlic rolls. So basically, this is what a chicken is like, right? That's still tender. You just want it to be cooked through, right? You don't want to take any chances, just
Mm-hmm.
like that, right?
And it smells so good. That is the
All right.
best part about all of this. It smells so good in here, guys, for real.
All right. So the next thing we'll do is we'll add the carrots because the carrots take a little
Yeah,
bit
they take a
longer
little
to
bit
cook,
longer to cook and they're kind
and
of
then you
tough
add the other
things
vegetable.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me
It's
just,
like I know, like broccoli. Well, the stems take a little bit of time, but the tops, they tend to. And I don't mind if they crunch a little bit. There's some things that I mind if they crunch, guys, but I don't mind if broccoli crunches a little bit. You want these slants or you want them sideways?
need it a little thicker because it's gonna be, yeah, that's how it's more. One trick you can use if you're cooking your stir fry and you want to get through real quick, you can just take them and you can blanch it with hot water, and that basically takes away like half the cooking time. So you can just blanch it like that with hot water. And when I say blanch, you don't soak it in there. You just drop it in there, pour the hot water off, and that's it. And then you just throw everything together.
Yes. I remember that from cooking class. They did food and nutrition in high school. That's how they did it. So let me see what's happening in the chat here. So Cheryl says, "Boy, Marlene and Neil always make me hungry while watching their videos. Come on." Keep talking the pot, but for those who don't know, chaman, it means ah shucks. That's basically what we mean by that. And Cheryl says, welcome, Rita. Nice to have you in the house. Yes. Mondale says, hi, Rita. Welcome. Absolutely. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, he's my little platter, but because he is going to be using the platter for his stir fry, I'm going to be using this instead.
The white plate.
Let's go ahead and
Take
take
the white
one.
plate. You want?
Okay.
Not the way you wanted to put it in half, but I really work. So, get that there. All right, so it's on medium heat. I'm going to cover it for 30 seconds.
So this is it right here now, guys. This would be our stuffed peppers. And let's remind you what's in there for those who just came on. We have the rice in there. We use the because we wanted to get that kind of a Mexican flavor. We use the taco seasoning mix to flavor it. But we had the beef in there. You can use ground beef. We use a tenderized. We cut up the tenderized beef, so that was fine. We have the beef in there. We have the rice. You know, we use white rice. Parboil, you can use whatever type of rice you like. We have the black beans in there. We have some corn in there. So it has that nice flavor. And then we sprinkle the cheese. I use sharp cheddar cheese on mine, but you can actually use I think pepper jack cheese would be a good option based on the flavor that we're going for. So we put the sharp cheddar cheese on here. Of course, you have other types you can use, but I like the sharp cheese because it gives it that kick, and you really want that if you're having that type of food. So that's it right here, guys. Tell me what you think. And again, I'm sorry I didn't use like a red pepper in here too because the color would pop more. So I would suggest that if you are doing that yourself, that you'd basically, maybe use, one, if you're doing it for four people, one red pepper, one green pepper, or, just mix and match the way you want if it's a larger group, but at least have a couple red ones in there. So it kind of, and of course, you have the yellow peppers too. So you can use red, green, and gold, and you can do it that way. So that is it right here. Smells so good. Ready for me to eat it. So we're gonna put this off to the side. I'm gonna keep it in the toaster oven so it stays nice and warm when we're gonna have it later. So that's it right. I'm trying to show you again towards the end. Still kind of warm in there, so leave them off to the side for a moment. All right. So what are we doing next here now with this food right here? So this pot is looking so colorful. Looks so good. So just remind us again what's in the pot so far.
So we got chicken,
We have the chicken breast that was sliced and cut in
broccoli,
small pieces. You put the carrots, well, you have first you fried in oil, then you put the carrots in next in the small cubes that he had there. Then he added the peppers and the onions that were in large pieces, fairly large. Dice, I guess you call it like dice size.
no,
And you had the celery in there. And what else did you have again?
or
And the
chestnut
broccoli
and celery.
and the water chestnut. So all of those are going in there.
All right, so I'm gonna add the kung pao sauce to it now.
Yeah, that's a secret sauce right there, guys. But again, if you can't get this in your store, you can buy them online. Or if you can't get either of those, you can always use like oyster sauce. Oyster sauce is very flavorful, so it works quite well too. So let me show you. I think this is more common, and the flavor is, not exactly the same, but close enough. So this is a good option to use as well. Let me read the comments now. So let's see. Sharon said, "Woo, look at woo, look at that." Harmony says, "Yes, it looks delicious, making me hungry." So, guys, when we do this, I hope that you will try them yourself so that we can, enjoy the experience as well. Because food is a journey, it's an experience. You take your time and you cook it, and you just sit back and you enjoy, and we watch other people enjoy your food as well. Cheryl says, yes, B, trust me, hungry is not the word. And Mondale says, my mouth is watering. Cheryl says, I can eat all four easy breezy. Okay. And you'll be doing yourself some good because it's very nutritious too, right? And Farmer B laughing at what Cheryl said, and Cheryl said the cheese on the top sounds like it's the kick for the whole meal. I agree. Yes. So Cheryl definitely is very easy to do. And like I said, just make sure you cook your rice if you can from the day before and you refrigerate it, when you cool and you put it in the refrigerator. Or do it early the day off the meal so that way it cools on enough because if it's warm and it's kind of heavy, it's not gonna, it won't look the way you want. And I'd say try to use, if you don't like ground beef, you can try to use like say ground chicken or ground turkey. So that way, you'd have that option. Or if you wanted to do vegan, you can do vegetarian. You don't have to put any meat in there. Just put the other stuff in there and make it your own and just spice away. Because I put like half this pack here, but you can put more. And again, this is a taco seasoning mix. You can put the whole pack in if you want this, depending on how strong you want that flavor to be.
And just to finish it off,
He's gonna sprinkle some
you just add
nuts
some
on there.
peanuts in there. All right, so this would be about just put a handful in there.
Hmm.
Okay.
And we try to
Tell
use
you what, two handfuls.
okay, yeah, because I like them. I like the peanuts in my food. But put them on when you're finished. Don't put them until let it cook down in there because you want to have that crunch. So you can use whatever brand you like. This is the one we have, but I just wanted to show you that we use the one that says lightly salted. Because again, when you're not a teenager anymore, you have to try to watch your health issues. So you try to, watch out for, your salt intake and your sugars and stuff like that. So, we try to go for the lightly salted one. So we're about to plate it up really soon. Let me warm up some of the rice so we can have some light rice. I'm just gonna warm up the rice in the microwave. We cooked it earlier, so we could have this over here. Up here, some of it over here.
Yeah.
Want it in the fire though.
Okay, so this is basically finished right now. I'm gonna turn it off and leave it on there just to let it steam just a little bit because you want to keep the peanuts crunchy still. All right. Like I said before, I'm not gonna cook this now. I'm just gonna show it to you real quick because it's real simple and I'm doing it in a way where you want to do a quick meal. So for these, if you want to do a quick kebab, you basically can have these vegetables cut up like this and you blanch them in warm water. And then you go ahead and add your chicken tenders, that's cooked already. Or if you pre-cook like chicken breast and you just stick it on as we did before. All right, so put that on there. Add the onions. Next, celery. Ah, okay. So let's do this a little slower.
Yeah, when they're crunchy like that, sometimes they tend to
Yeah, it means it's good.
yeah,
Then add a
nice
pineapple.
and fresh.
Then go back and grab two bell
So
peppers.
are those gonna be cooked enough when you
No, well, I'm just showing them.
you're just showing
We'll
them?
just put it
Oh, okay, I
together.
got you.
And then once you're done doing it, then you can drizzle it with, sweet and sour sauce. And if you don't have the sweet and sour sauce, you can make it your own. You basically use egg coloring or annatto powder, right? Cornstarch, vinegar, a pinch of salt, and sugar, and you just mix it together, boil it, and that's pretty much it, right? I'll do it another time, but like I said, just for variety, because we're doing bell peppers, sweet and sour sauce will go well with the pineapple and the bell pepper, so it brings out the flavor. That's why I'm using this. But you can always use the other sauce as well, the kung pao sauce. Okay, so I'll just cut this up and just show it to you. But like I said, for because of the interest of time, I don't want to keep you guys late this evening. You can for a quick meal, this will take like about probably I'd say 10 minutes. You just dip it in warm water and then slot everything on, bake it in the oven for like maybe 5 minutes, and then you just drizzle it with the sauce and put it back in there for another minute. It'll be done. So you have a meal there like in 10 minutes. Okay, 1 second. So Marlene's going ahead and she's plating the food right now. So you'll see the final product in just a minute.
All right, guys. So here it is right here. This is so yummy. And I'll probably just, like garnish, put a little leaf by the side here. So you can see everything is nice and steamy. We have the chicken, we have the broccoli, celery. What else we got in there? We have the what you call it now? The
Water chestnut.
water chestnut, yeah. And I think is that everything? Water chestnuts, carrots, broccoli, celery, the meat. Yeah. So typically we will
Nuts.
so let me take a look at the chat before I go any further. Oh yeah, and the peanuts, yes. You can even drizzle some more on it if you like. I just love the crunch from the peanut. It is so good. So let me see what it says now. So meals is real chef Sheffington, yes. Listen to him telling how to make your own sauce. God damn it. Cheryl, you're cracking me up so much. So we're basically gonna stop right here for tonight. And as we always do, we want to just take a little quick picture, like a freeze frame in there. You can leave those for another time.
Yeah, I'm just showing them the final.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished putting them together.
And
My
just
bad.
do that. And that way you can have it like that.
Yeah,
Right.
so you have
So
all the colors. This is like the like the African flag colors, right? All
right.
those
So
red, gold, and green.
yeah, just make it a little bit longer, whatever you
Hmm.
want, But like I said, the pineapple always goes well
With
with
the
bell
bell
pepper,
pepper.
and that gives it a good flavor. All right. And if you're, like I said, sweet and sour sauce. If you want to do chicken, you can do sweet and sour chicken using
Hmm.
the bell pepper, pineapple, and the chicken and some onions, and that's it. Really comes out nicely. All right. So she's gonna show you the next one. You show them the.
So we're just gonna show you guys the two placed together for the
There you
picture.
go.
It is stooped down because we can get a freeze frame.
All
So
right.
this
There you
is
go.
them right here.
All right. So thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And for those of us here in the US, happy Memorial Day. No, Labor Day.
Labor Day coming
Labor
up,
Day.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
But
Labor
check
Day.
out my videos, guys. I'll have
Allow me
one
some.
before that time, I think. Yeah, I'll have a video before that. And so this is the stuffed bell peppers if it just came on, and this is the stir fry. And we pull it back a little bit so you can see it right there, the peanut sprinkle on top. So, be sure to test it out, try it out. Remember to check out these wonderful ladies' channels on here. We have Farmer B,
Yes.
he does gardening. We have Lorna decorating. We have Mondale, she does decorating. Andrea, she has a new video out telling you because she's updating her channel. She's going to start cooking and she's really good at it. It's a 1 minute video, guys. It's called Andrea's Kitchen. So please check out her channel. She's going to be doing a lot of Jamaican dishes because she loves to do that. And well, she did just a update channel update to change the name of her channel last night, and it's just a minute long. So check it out, see if you like it, and if you do, subscribe because she's gonna have a lot more coming. Sometimes we'll go over as guests on her channel. Sometimes she may come over here as a guest on our channel,
Yeah.
but she got a lot good stuff in store for you. So check out her 1 minute video again. It's Andrea's Kitchen, and she will, really appreciate you stopping by. And we also have a collab coming up too. It's gonna be because it's about gardening my channel, so it's gonna be a fall porch collaboration. And I can take one more person because we have 5 ladies so far. I could take one more person if anybody wants to join us as a co-host on there. It's going to be on September. What is it? The 28th, the last Thursday in September. We'll decorate our porch. And so we look forward to that fun. But check out our videos. We're glad you stopped by. If you're just coming on, watch the replay and you'll see how we did these wonderful dishes. And we thank you so much for being here. And we hope that you'll have a wonderful rest of the week or weekend, depending on when you're watching this. So let me see. Lorna says, great presentation, looks so yummy. Karma B says, I was doing to throw down the way he talked about cooking the meal. Uh-huh. And Johnson Om Decor Mondale says, thank you. She says, enjoy. Nice presentation. I'm sure it tastes just as great and lovely as the mind and for the mind, body, and soul. Yes, agreed. And that's how we like to cook. Healthy stuff.
Yep.
We always try to include, something from the garden in the live videos. I've been doing that recently. And today the bell pepper was a star. You can see how we display the bell pepper to you so you can use it to your heart's content. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us again and share this with your friends if you think they might be interested. And we just hope you have a wonderful time. Stay blessed. Love you lots. Bye.